Hi.
Hi, Beto. First of all, thank you for taking the time out to be in Manchester.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask you on behalf of my friend Mary Georges and I, who are both on the school board in Wards 3 and 4, what you're going to do about education. Here in Manchester, we're working desperately hard to help our kids. And here in Manchester, we have the lowest per pupil spending in the state of New Hampshire. And it's being made worse by the fact that our state is downshifting costs. And we're getting little to no help from the federal government, despite all the mandates brought down by the federal government. So I'm just wondering, what are you going to do from the federal government on behalf of our kids here in Manchester?
Thanks for the question, and thanks for the public service and focusing on public education. A couple ideas. I mentioned the mother that I just met in Amherst, whose child, she described, Cynthia, tell me if I get this wrong, but she described as high-functioning autistic and is spending $10,000 out of pocket because there are not the resources in her school district to provide for what her son needs. As president, I will make sure that we fully fund the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. Now listen, folks, this is not cheap, and we're all going to have to pitch in. It's $20 billion a year additional. But once that money gets to your school district, it frees you to pay educators a higher salary so that they are not working a second or a third job. They're not out of their own pockets having to pay for the supplies, the clothing, the food for kids who do not have it at home. We're going to invest in true community schools. So in addition to the instruction, the nutrition, we're talking about primary and mental health care for kids who otherwise would have been denied it because of their income, because of their zip code, because of their immigration status. Those will not be barriers to those children being able to realize their full potential. We'll ensure that school starts not when you're 4 or 5 years old in kindergarten, but when you're 3 or 4 years old in pre-K, universal across the United States of America. Also an investment, but one that pays a very handsome return for this country. And then we're going to have to face this, and I've brought this challenge up many times, but until we face it, account for it, and act on it, we're not going to make it better. The disparity between Black America and white America, it's in healthcare, it's in criminal justice, it's in the economy, and it's in education. Minority-majority schools are underfunded to the tune of $23 billion a year in this country. Some have described a system of segregation in public education that is worse today in some parts of the country than it was in 1954 on the eve of Brown versus Board of Education. We're going to set up a $500 billion permanent education fund to address and invest in resolving those disparities. We're also going to ensure that we invest in historically Black colleges, minority-serving institutions, to ensure that we have teachers who look like the students in front of them in the classroom, so that we have equity as well as equality in funding. And then we're going to get behind you and the next iteration of federal education policy. So we went from No Child Left Behind to the Every Student Succeeds Act. That next version, I literally want you at the table with me. So Cynthia, let's get her contact information to help us write that policy so that it meets the needs of your district. Thank you all for being here and for what you're doing. Gracias.